I'm Mint Salad and I saw Ip Man 2. It is directed by Wilson Yip. This was requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review request, you can request movie at patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month. I've reviewed the first Ip Man. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's right here. Otherwise, you'll have to have seen the first movie because the movie starts with a flashback of what happened at the very end. We have Ip Man plus family going to Hong Kong. Ip Man is here to start his own martial arts school. I like this because it shows a lot of entrepreneur. How do you spell that? Could you like spell it out for me in the comments? Because I don't know how to speak that word apparently. We have Ip Man. There's a couple of days of him just not getting any students. No one knows him. I totally get that. He hasn't really marketed except for a couple of posters on the wall. However, there is one person that comes who's like, I'm gonna defeat you. Ooh. I really like this scene because he's beaten up pretty quickly and he comes back with like 3 more dudes and he's able to beat up all of these people very easily, and they all become his students. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. He's able to pay rent now. We're also seeing that since Ip Man has recently moved with nothing, he's struggling to pay the rent. Totally understandable. This is why he's opening up a martial arts school. And now we have more students coming, more students coming, more students coming. They just keep on coming and they won't stop coming and they won't stop coming and they won't stop coming until there's like a hefty amount of students. I'm like, man, this is impressive, man. I'm very intrigued. What's going to happen though? Is this legal? You just kind of came here and popped up a martial arts school. Is anyone else who also has a martial arts school going to be happy with it? No. There's one person who is not happy. Ip Man gets in conflict with this dude. He's really fat. Well, not super fat. There's a guy who's literally named Fatso, but this isn't Fatso. This is Hung, I think is how you pronounce his name. Yeah, he's asking Ip Man, you need to pay dues, meaning you need to be vetted by the martial arts community or whatever the abbreviation, whatever the word is for whatever the part of. Yeah, that. I really like the fight scene between Ip Man and a bunch of the masters. We see a different styles of martial arts being used. I like Ip Man's style the most, honestly, because he keeps people out of like a distance. He's like, oh, okay. And he does like a bunch of like all of that. And I really like how smooth he is. There's also the final battle with the 2 masters. Yeah, the master that he has problem with, that I told him that he needed to be part of this martial arts group in order to be certified to run a martial arts school. That's what I got from this movie. Yeah, this guy is probably really greedy, but also it might be for a good cause. But this guy is painted as if Ip Man does not want to contribute to the money fund to this martial arts group. He's already having enough trouble buying rent, buying food, buying anything really. So they're fighting in the air. There's a lot of kickity. There's a lot of table spinning because they're on like a really loose table. And Ip Man almost falls off a couple of times. This guy almost falls off a couple of times, but they seem to be equally matched. Like, yes. And he gains the respect of this dude. Also, I really like how he invites the guy who just let him into this group. That guy invites Ip Man to this tournament thing. I'm like, okay, cool, tournament thing. Who is it running by? It's run by a bunch of British dudes. I'm like, okay. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I remember the last movie was about like some Japanese guys invading, and now we're talking about British dudes hosting boxing tournaments, which is what it is. This boxing tournament scene, so cool. I really like all the kickiness. There's not like a ton of kickiness because we see a couple of dudes get beat up in the ring by this British boxer dude, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and like this guy that Ip Man previously had beef with because he wouldn't pay the dues to the martial arts, he's in the arena with this guy, and he's like saying stuff like, "Yeah, I can't let him deface Chinese martial arts, because that is what they're here to do." And I'm like, man, I really appreciate you just like keep on going. You kept just going, you kept sticking to the ropes. There's a part, like a couple first rounds, he holds his own. I'm a big fan of him holding his own, but then he starts getting some asthma and wheezy and like gets an asthma attack and can't breathe. And then that's how he falls down. He keeps getting his face bashed in by this British dude. And even after he's like down, he's just hanging on to the ropes. He's just like, he keeps like taking all these blows. And that causes his death. Made me sad. I was like, wait, this dude just died? What is the press gonna be looking like for this? Oh, naturally, the Chinese people don't like the British in this movie. Like, at all. It makes sense. They just killed a dude. This boxer is ruthless. Come on. Why do you have to be like that, boxer guy? But of course, Ip Man is like, well, I'm gonna keep my head down. It's very similar to the first movie and how he's like keeping his head down. But he respects this guy who just died in the ring. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna battle this man. I'm gonna battle him with lots and lots of doing. Ip Man, even like during, not his fight, but he even tells the guy, hey, aim for his ribs. The guy does not aim for his ribs and ends up dying. Ip Man remembers the advice he gave that dude and starts aiming for the ribs. It's epic. He ends up getting the dude on the floor and he's like hitting him on the top of the head. But he shows restraint and mercy and keeps the guy alive. And I'm like, dude, Ip Man, you just saved your country's reputation. Epic. Ip Man, you're so awesome. You're gonna have like all of the martial arts students coming here now. I know you've had some issue with your martial arts students battling up with other martial arts students and then causing a feud between your students, needing the masters to come in and the masters to beat each other and all this whole ordeal to come in. But now you're gonna have even more students. And you're gonna have a particular student that comes at the very end. He's shown to be Bruce Lee. Yeah, this was Bruce Lee's trainer. This is based off of a true guy. Man, I'm really glad that I got recommended this movie. The entire time, it seems like Ip Man is just trying to have everyone not resort to violence. All the youngins, they're like, oh yeah, I know some martial arts, I'm gonna fight. It's gonna be my first instinct. It's like, no. Try to have a calm, peaceful resolution first. And then if some things come to fighting, then you can quickly defend yourself. You're supposed to attack and defend at the same time. Get them down to their feet as quickly as possible. There's several times during this movie where Ip Man is just preaching, yeah, just, you know, love your family more. There's even a fight right after, like, they fight for the first time, them and the Master Hung. Man, I don't know how to pronounce it. That master versus Ip Man, they have a second fight, and that master dude almost kicks his own son in the head. And Ip Man's like, just go spend time with your family. That's how he actually gains the respect. I really like that. I'm a big fan. I wish that there was more kickiness. Unfortunately, in the final battle, Ip Man is no longer allowed to kicky. So it kind of limits his ability. He's knocked down at some point, and he's brought back up. He's like, I can use my hands. It's okay. I'm gonna go for the ribs. I like that. The colors seem to be a lot of the outdoor shots pretty bright. If Ip Man's there. I didn't really notice too much like visual distinction between each scene to like signify some sort of mood that I was supposed to feel. But, oh man, the music is masterclass. I was just noticing, like, the swells and the music. is like to guide the eye and the intensity of the emotion that I'm supposed to feel and the tension between two guys. If there was no music under like this shot where Ip Man just walks in and like a couple of guys just like stand up, it's like, okay, I guess those guys are standing up. But with the added music, it's like, oh, those guys are standing up to beat him. This is a tense moment. It's supposed to add some tension here. I like the kickiness factor. I honestly like the first Ip Man just a little bit more, just because it shows a little bit more of Ip Man's beginnings. It kind of fleshes him out. Of course, he's already fleshed out as a character. This is just supposed to like establish some of the things that he's had to deal with while starting up his school, which is totally cool. For that, I gotta give this movie like a solid 7.4 out of 10. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that, or you can fast track a movie review. Patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, or $3 a month for 250 vlogs are up there, plus the How to Draw Pokemon series will be posted there first, before public on YouTube. So go to patreon.com/ASEPresents, and if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness, you can go to this link tree. My Fansly is free to follow, that's my main site. It really helps the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, so you can go here, and until next time, I'm Mint Salad Sauce. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.